That's where I've been trekking from all day into a headwind. I've been unable to cycle. And also, the ground is just too hard and rocky to camp. But I'm really lucky that I found a bed for the night. Let's hope I make it to the next country tomorrow.
Bangkok is my starting point of the trip. I've cycled through Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos and a huge stretch of China. Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, scary Iran, really scary Iraq, Turkey and through the home stretch of Europe back to Gloucester.
It's world renowned for corrupt police. Somebody told me a story that if a policeman tries to flag down a taxi driver, the taxi driver will just keep driving. So if there's going to be corruption, you can guarantee to try and change money, but the exchange rate with this guy is just ridiculous. He's tried ripping me off about 10 times. Exchanging money in a bank from a dodgy dealer, it somehow feels legit. So I've been forced onto a bus. It's been a prolonged, agonising 2.5 months in China, but I am finally through the border. I can't believe I'm going to say it. I am in Kazakhstan! From Rosa. She's like my mama. There's been a few real sly moves that's been made on me over the last few hours to extract money and food off me. Some have worked, some haven't. But you know what? I don't care. Do you want to know why? Because I'm in Kazakhstan.
First time in 2.5 months that I can name every single item on my plate. Spaghetti, pepper, and I can finally name the meat, beef.
Where I'm cycling, there's just a whole load of nothing.
I've just lost all motivation to keep going. Been trekking for over 5 hours into gale force winds. It's just getting...
This is the worst! Putting in maximum effort for the outcome of a pathetic 5 miles every hour. The only nice thing about this experience is the wind between my toes. Out to the wind, just keep directly flashing upon me. It's impossible! stop it! Ow! Ow! So I've arrived at a cafe. There's my bed for the night. And this gentleman over here has paid for my meal later. Welcome to Kazakhstan. The wind's died off. I'm now going downhill. Yesterday was like the end of the world, and now today I feel like I'm on top of it again. I swear this cycling's making me bipolar. Hello, Almaty! Almaty! Almaty, which way? Hello! Almaty! Almaty! Yeah.
Almaty?
Yeah, Almaty. This way? Okay. Thank you very much. Rahmet. Been on the highway for 2 hours now with no drink station. That was the last time I drank Coca-Cola. And Coca-Cola is absolutely brilliant for quick, fast energy. But if you run out like I have now, I've just bonked. I feel a bit faint and all my blood sugar levels have dropped. So I'm trying to eat biscuits now to get it back up, to find a place to stay in the city centre. 15 hours. 110 miles. I've been searching around the city for 3 hours now, searching for a hostel. It's Friday night. I want some beers to treat myself for 10 days continuous cycling. I've gone past loads of other hotels all the way through the city, but I just want to find this one hostel. So I've climbed all the way up a mountain now and I still can't find it. I found the hostel. There's 2 people there. So I went to try and find another one. I had the same problem. I couldn't find it for about 3 hours. So I'm disappointed. I'm not getting a rest, having a few beers and talking some English. But I am on a time schedule, so I just got to keep moving. Wasn't meant to be. And that there is whole new territory, Kyrgyzstan or Kyrgyzstan. I don't even know how to pronounce the name of the country. That's how much I know about it. Misa over here has just given me a bed for the night. It's definitely not a hotel, but it's better than nothing. Well chuffed. Mezza's just sat me down and tried to let me down gently in a really awkward language barrier. So he just walked me to a hotel, so I'm guessing he wants me to leave. This is a cafe. But I know it's not him, it's his wife. She hates me. My visa doesn't start for Kyrgyzstan till tomorrow, but I'm going to attempt to get through today and just say I'm really sick and that I want to go to a hospital in the capital city, which is just across the border, so fingers crossed. I mean, it's very unlikely. I want out of this place. Just got my Kazakhstan stamp out of the country. But what I'm worried about is that if they don't let me through, am I going to be allowed to get back to Kazakhstan now I've got a stamp to get out of the country? Am I just going to be stuck in the middle? This could have been a really bad move.
Been through 5 checks and no one stopped me, but this is the last one, fingers crossed.
Today is the 25th. My visa is valid from the 26th. I've just passed my passport through 6 officers and not one single person noticed the date. I'm through with an extra day on my visa. Buying a map of Kyrgyzstan. That is how mountainous it is. Look at it. Feel it. Oh my god. Oh no. Who drank too much vodka last night then? Oh no. I even managed to vomit on someone else's bed. She's going nuts. Yeah. Look, and he vomited too. Yeah, you bad boy. You vomited all around the room, even on my bed. Yeah. Evil woman. She's making me hand wash it. Evil. Evil, what are you doing? Evil woman. It's very heavy. Hey. Evil woman. She's punishing me. Punishing me. Why? Why? McDonald is back! Not only do my legs feel rested and energised again, but my state of mind is just on top form. All I needed was a monster Russian vodka night and some banter. Pure sarcasm, that's what I've missed to get my human spirit back up. It's a good job, because over the next month, it's going to be the toughest cycling of my life.
It's 6 AM and this is what they've gave me for my mum. And also, they've donated a hat for me. How nice is this? I've had the night of my life.
It was just amazing. Even though they didn't speak any English, we just seemed to understand each other. There was no language barrier whatsoever. We laughed and joked all night. The beer probably helped, but what an amazing family. And then they leave me with gifts for my mum in the morning and a wicked hat. David has just rocked up on his bike. It's great to see him once again, and he's also just recited lots of horrible stories about the police trying to take his passport and all his money. Yeah, brilliant to hear. It's about 35 degrees, and the lumps we've seen on the map are no longer plastic. Pure reality. Let the games begin. This is where you start intensely reflecting on the past few days and start to think about the vodka and beer that I drank. But I'm determined to say yes every day, on any occasion. I'm just going to have to suffer the consequences. I've got the wind behind me, I'm flying up this mountain. Hello!
Hello!
Hey! Walking for 4 hours. It's just so steep. This last leg, I can't wait to get to the summit and get my treat. Ah, 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 ah. This is the finest spring water you can possibly get, straight from the mountain. Really tough climb, and my breathing is becoming really difficult, so I must be over 3,000 meters altitude. But it's just the beauty of this place. It's just amazing. My legs, my lungs, absolutely battered. But I'm so close to being there now. Well, this looks like a death tunnel. It's going uphill. You can barely fit 2 cars in there at once, and the light does not look good. Apparently 3 kilometers long. This is rough. This is all I have. It's pretty pathetic, really. And it's so tight. I need to make sure they see me. That was pure evil. But I stayed strong. I didn't have to put the bike into a car or onto a lorry. This is my treat now. Worming all the way out there to the far distance. I'm sorry. No more footage. I've put the Chemical Brothers on. It's time to rip down this descent. So here is my bed tonight. This good little girl drew some pictures on my bag. This woman took me in. Oh, and this little kid's just cute. This guy here is 80 years old. Well, this is literally fresh. 5 minutes ago, straight out the horse. Oh. Oh, nice and warm. Gide, I want to thank you very much for the amazing food and the nice big blanket bed and house, for that matter. Sorry Mum, I gave your gift away, but it was well deserved. So thank you very much. I've been walking more than cycling the past few days. Oh, I've just been invited into a caravan for a shot of vodka to help me up the mountain. Another exhausting climb, but I'm at the top. Another one bites the dust. Ah, come on. Ah. Really enjoyed this 3-hour descent, I really have. But I feel like I'm right down below sea level now, or at least very close. And the gutting thing is in about 50 miles. It's just a whole nother huge mountain. So we'll be starting from scratch again. These mountains are tough. They're just so steep. 4 miles an hour, and plus maybe a bit of walking, and then try and push out a bit more cycling at 4 miles an hour again. Honestly, the sheep are faster than me. You know, a few months ago I would have called it a day now and waited until the morning till it was cool again to carry on. But I've got to look at the bigger picture. If I'm going to make it back to Gloucester on time, nothing can stand in my way. Even if I have to walk. Well, I think that's the end of the mountains, but for at least a few days anyway. You know, I feel like I've grafted all week, and it's Friday. I'm putting some hardcore music on, and I'm ready to go mental all weekend. Woo-hoo-hoo! Obviously, I didn't have a monster weekend. I slept next to a river and couldn't even be asked to pitch the tent. Well, that flat lasted an hour, 15 miles. That's it. Otherwise I've been going up and down all day long. I'm just getting really hot and irritated now. After being tired and hot and irritable, this is how you cool down. Woo-hoo-hoo! My whole mentality's just completely changed after that. Just a 5-minute dip in some cold water. I'm ready to go till sunset. This should be a good camping spot. Oh yeah! Beautiful. I'm so frustrated and annoyed at myself to think that I'd get flat for more than even a day in this country. It doesn't exist. And what's so annoying is that it's extremely steep, but my map doesn't detect it because the mountains are not high enough. My next focus now is just getting to the next city with a hostel, hopefully with some English speakers that I can have some banter with. Well, I'm in a dormitory room, but there's no one here. You probably noticed that I didn't get the sociable break that I wanted or expected. But it was a break and I do feel much better after it. Which is important because I've got a nice healthy sized mountain to start the day off with. These three are calling me over, I just can't refuse. Shots of vodka at 9 AM. But with a few shots of Russian vodka in me, I'm ready. This isn't even a steep hill, but I must be going into altitude now because my lungs. Woo! But it's not bad. I'm walking through a lovely village, loads of kids coming out staring. I'm getting more help up this mountain. There's more donkey riding going on up this mountain than there is at Western Supermare. Oh, that's the summit. It looks so close. The altitude's kicking in and it's really steep. There's nowhere to camp. And you gotta keep taking breaks every 30 seconds. And you still don't get your breath back. This idea of death. I've got to be close now. I'm guessing that awful statue is a sign that I'm at the top. I don't know why I'm really struggling. I've been at this height before, but it's been a while. And the last 6 hours I've probably done about 10 miles. It's been really tough. But it's time to get my headphones on and enjoy the descent. These terrible little children was racing down there at 30 miles an hour and they were throwing stones at me. Hey? Hey? Yeah. Yeah. Very funny when I stopped, didn't you? You're still smiling though, you little git. I've made it in time for a cool little village with some beautiful backdrop mountains and a cool little kid. Yeah. I found a place to stay. Yeah. Well, this is the final town before I'm not going to see anything for about 4 days. So I was hoping to get some food supplies. But it just looks like 3 little buildings. Well, it turns out this is the border crossing. And no, you can't get any food supplies here. So I'm going to have to ration out 2 days worth and hope for the best. That was the most relaxed border crossing I've ever been through. I imagine I'm going to be the only person that crosses that today. I feel like I'm in a really extreme, remote part of the world, which really excites me. But also I feel a bit nervous, especially the lack of preparation and the lack of food and water that I have. But that's all part of the adventure, and that's what I truly love. So, onwards and definitely upwards. Oh, 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 that's chilly. Oh, I haven't reached the summit today. I thought it'd be a good idea while I've still got sunlight and it's warm to set up camp and also acclimatise at this level before I go on up, because I'm not feeling so great. Lungs are really expanding, head throbbing a little bit. So yeah, let's just look forward to the summit tomorrow. First up, for starters, we have the disgusting salami breadsticks that taste nothing like salami. For the main course, one of my favourites, version of wagon wheel, choco pie.
Lastly, for dessert, winner on any occasion, ABC biscuits. Let's skip the main course and get straight to the dessert. That was an awful night's sleep. I slept for about an hour at the start of the night. It just got too cold in the altitude. And also my head is just throbbing. Altitude doesn't like me, and I don't like altitude. Maybe I'll feel better once I start cycling.
I didn't want to give you another poo show, but I have diarrhea again. So I'm losing all my salts and minerals, and I have nothing to replace it apart from some raisins and ACB biscuits. So with this and the altitude, this is going to be a really long, tough climb.
Alima just invited me in for some chai tea, so I'm going to load up with a couple pints in my stomach and then continue on in the summit. But how nice is that she waved me in. Also, the spread she's made is absolutely amazing, but every time I take a mouthful I just feel like I need to visit the toilet, so sugar and tea for me.
I'm sure my nan told me you can go to war on sugar and tea. Another incredible statue for your efforts. That was rough. I just hope this road changes for the descent, otherwise I'm not going to get my treat that I deserve. So this is the true border crossing into Tajikistan. I am officially in Tajikistan. I know nothing about this place again apart from it has really big mountains and it borders Afghanistan. Oh yeah. Woo! First bit of smooth, talk too soon. First bit of smooth road that I've had in 3 days. It's just so peaceful, just me and the bike. Apparently just over there, according to my map, there's something named. I don't want to call it a town or a village. I'll be lucky to get a shed. They've just loaded me up with some bread to last me a day and a half and some water. Thank you so much. There was a time where my mum put Brussels sprouts on my roast dinner, amazing roast dinner. And I was to look at her and be like, what are you playing at? Get that off. I've just been given a loaf of bread to see me through 2 days. Jesus Christ, it's a loaf of bread, but I've never appreciated it so much in my life. What the hell was all that about? Just a moment, I suppose. I thought it might happen during this trip. I just didn't think it would be over a loaf of bread. Anyway, I'm about to tackle the highest mountain of my trip. So it's time to man up. Luckily I've just found some abandoned buildings because it's starting to snow. That's the trouble at this altitude. It doesn't rain, it snows. I really didn't want to, but I'm gonna have to change. Feel like I'm getting closer. The ground is wet and the tyres are sinking in. It's becoming really tough to cycle. I just hope this snow doesn't get any heavier. I've never experienced anything like this. Walking 1 mile an hour is not fun. Who is the daddy? Who is the daddy? I'll tell you who the daddy is. I'm the daddy. I am the daddy! Come on! Yeah! Come on! I don't know whether this here captures the absolute beauty in this descent. This is just magical. This could end up being another terrible night. I'm going to grab every single item of clothing, put it on, get in the sleeping bag, and hope for the best that I stay warm enough. Well, it snowed last night, but the 8 layers of clothing worked. It's the kind of scenery I see on planet Earth, but it's real. Well, it's a town. Time to get some hot meals, shower and a day's rest. And if I'm lucky, maybe a bit of fruit and veg. Anything but dry bread. Anything. It's still really remote where I am, and I have another huge climb to do, but I am so much more prepared. Super Snickers, 500 calories in 1 bar, come on! The Super Snickers are doing me proud, and my brain and legs are working well together. They're telling me they feel really good. But there's one thing that I'm not going to get used to. And it's the power of altitude. and the harshness to the lungs and the lack of oxygen.
But now I feel really guilty and think I should have continued. I've only done 30 miles today, and that's just not enough.
Oh, the wind's died down. My breathing's a lot more controlled. I just gotta hope that the snow is not too heavy where I'm going. It seems to be getting worse. Nothing's gonna stop me. Wind, rain or snow, I gotta keep going. Look at the way it's just magically changed. I'm hoping there's sun down there, but everything's soaked through. I'm just freezing to death. So I hope I find a house. It's hard to believe that an hour ago I felt as if I was cycling in the Antarctica. And now it's really pleasant. The sun's warm and I'm drying off nicely. So I've just arrived there into a town. I know. Different world. I don't often leave money for families that invite me into their house, but it just feels right. They're poor. Doesn't mean they're going to be any less happier than we are, but they need money. I think the whole of Tajikistan does. Some more terrible road, but another path done. Tick that box. Ooh, ooh, tick that box. At the Afghanistan embassy, they've told me that the situation is bad at the moment, but they can't give out any information. But the borders are closed and I can't get a visa. They've told me to come back in a couple of days and more information will be given. There's speculation that the Tajikistan
people killed an Afghan general yesterday, and there's just war going all around us. Jesus! Sounds like it could be 2 miles away at least. Jeez. Oh my God! Jesus! Been shot at. This is no game. We've been told to completely stay put. This is an absolute tiny town, and it sounds so extreme and chaotic out there. Machine guns, explosions. Yeah, I'm coming.
Crazy cool, get in here. Yeah, where they're firing at each other, I mean, there's people all around the mountains, there have to be people where you fire. You hit your brother, but they don't give a shit.
It's not aerial bombing, I mean they don't have anything in the air. I think it's
rockets, grenades.
no, you know the rockets off the back of a truck where they fire 12 in a row, they go off? They've started using those for the past little bit. But now they're definitely going this way.
How far over is it?
Probably about 100 meters.
I was going to say, a minute ago they were like,
Yeah.
just fucking on that rock that they
Just
were shooting
over there.
at. They were shooting right there.
That hit the roof. It could have been shells dropping them.
That was a flash again.
No, it's a flash from a camera.
Oh, was it?
That definitely hit our roof.
What's that? The ricochet. Right.
Yeah.
Maybe curry inside.
Control properly by the end of the day. The town's cut off completely from outsiders, anyone out. That up to 200 people have taken up arms from the village with the rebels, and that the army has flown in more than the helicopters we've seen. Like a dozen helicopters full of troops have been flown into the valley, and they're basically killing the people who have taken up arms. Against, yeah, there's fighting down there, there's obviously fighting up here around, and there are already quite a few people have been killed, and they're going to try and kill them all by tonight and sort it out. That's their solution to the situation.
It sounds quite ridiculous. They
Yeah.
try to kill them.
That's the situation. They're going to try and basically wipe them out.
So until tonight we cannot go out, or? I mean, there's going to be like that.
He's had people who have contacted him, but he has no way of getting in contact with the town. The phone's off, the internet's off. Surprisingly, they haven't cut the electric off, as we know, but the water's been cut off for some reason. He doesn't know why. And that's just basically what he told me. There's not really much more. But he did, on the positive note, potatoes, carrots and some more tomatoes, and if whoever's
Absolutely
in will cook
surreal.
up a half. I don't know if this will feed all of us, but I'm sure we can.
Here's our big army pot of food. Look at it. Oh yeah.
Yummy.
It's been going for 11 hours now. Everyone's starting to relax and socialise out there, but then you hear gunfires that are happening probably about 50 metres away, and it still surprises everyone. I think we've got to make sure we don't get too complacent. And sure enough, straight after the last video, there was gunshots that were 20 metres away, so everyone's ran back in. Everybody is getting ready for a night stay. No one's happy about it. We were hoping to get escorted out today. Everyone's a little bit anxious that we could be, which is possible. And the other one that we're worried about, how long is this going to continue? This could go on for days, it could finish by the morning, we just don't know. But one thing's for sure, this is real. Jesus, that's gone crazy again.
But now it was confusing for me. And they all
But it could be anything homemade. It could be like,
Because it sounds like you say plastic. Fireworkers here. Kill the fuckers and let us get out of here.
We're in the compound, but we want to try and get information.
Fuck it, I'm not going actually. REM was a Special Forces Marine.
Yeah. So they've gone to another homestay where there may be a couple of tourists to see if there's any information whether it's safe to leave.
Is that bullet spatter?
And up there on that building is hundreds of bullet markings.
وزد خبط للناويات فوكيت تروسا يعني أرارين قرديج دا وارد بيودار سكتو خبط كمان vereen glad med motion pays the dölja bide.
It's better for you.
after 2 o'clock.
Because after 2 is problem.
Yeah.
After 2 is problem.
Now to
2 o'clock
is problem because they are meeting.
Okay, so nobody fighting.
Yes.
Okay. Impossible
Right.
for Carla?
What's the time now?
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
10:30.
10:30. So
Let's
we've
go
got
right now.
3.5 hours to race out of this town before it all kicks off again. Yeah. No, he did. He said if we want to leave.
That's not what he said to me.
Well, that's what he said to us. There was like.
After this was the guy with the radio. Yeah. Which remember we have to settle up, let's say, before we go.
the worry is now is that we've been told that this 3.5 window gap to get out of the town is safe, but we just heard gunshots. So a few people have left already, and some people are still worried, which is completely understandable. So am I. I'm crapping it. And I'm the only cyclist here that's heading west, so it means I'm going to be on my own. There's other people now that are walking and cannot get transport up here, so they're panicking, and that may be, 2-3 people left behind, and that's not nice either. So this is just, my head is spinning like mad. I've got butterflies like you wouldn't believe. So we're making our way down into the city centre now. Who knows what we'll find? Possibly dead bodies, anything. And I feel like we're sitting ducks. We've heard gunshots 20 minutes ago, even though it's supposed to be safe. So, fingers crossed. The two cyclists, I've let them ride ahead. They're really uncomfortable with me using the video because it causes attraction to us. So I really want to video this. Might be insane, but gotta do it. There's a full-on tank. People are walking round, so it's true to their word, it is safe until 2 o'clock. That's a sign. Oh. It's just so eerie. Everyone's walking around in silence, just wandering around. Oh shit. We've met some other tourists that are walking out of town. There's just no possible lift anywhere. So we're going to stay with them and make sure they're safe until they get out.
I take the next. No.
This guy here is going to take a mother and child's seat.
Really for everyone back there for half an hour.
No way. I sensed there was badness in it for the last couple of days. I spotted things. No, it is a problem. It is a problem. Absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. A mother and child. A mother and child. Mother and child. Can you believe that? Instinct told me that man was evil. And we got a mother and child there. And do you know what he said? I have a plane to catch. I'm just absolutely disgusted in the pits of my stomach. So we've caught up with the evil man. He hasn't come very far. So we've just been exchanging some very harsh words. He's trying to somehow back up why he took the vehicle. Disgusting. Let's get the hell out of here! It's what we thought, that there's tanks moving in, more soldiers. It's going to turn a lot more worse than it was. Thank God we're getting out of here. Isn't it ironic that that evil guy that took the mother and child seat actually got 1 kilometre out, so he's still in the war zone.
and the mother and child got a lift half an hour after us, and now they're clear. We haven't seen them. That's very satisfying. You know, my real main concern and worry now is that looks like it's going to get a whole lot worse, and there's 6 people left back at our hotel, and I'm seriously worried for him. All we can do is just sit back and I hope to hear from them.
Yes.
Maybe.
We're under another huge dilemma here. This guy's saying that 1 kilometre down there is he's saying that they give us a lift, but
Military? Yeah.
that piece of land there, we're going to be cycling along the border for probably the next couple hundred miles. Quite weird, really. Well, it turns out that guy was just scamming us for money. Hi, nice to see you again. Hi, nice to see you. You made it. Well done. How nice is that? They've got out and they managed to find their husband.
So are there many people still there to get
I
out?
think about 47. Yeah. And
This is the British and the German embassy. They've all come in convoys to now try and rescue any tourist that's left in there.
So good.
Jean's just threw his bike onto the floor. He's just had enough of cycling.
Buy a bicycle. Ever. That's the stupid idea you can ever have.
What a cracking camping spot. How much do you like cycling, Jean? Come on, how much? Tell me. What, that much? That much? This guy here is offering a lift to Dushanbe, which is, I don't know, a good few hundred miles. Surprise, surprise. Ultra enthusiastic Sean is taking the lift. Well, Jean up there is sulking. They were asking for a ridiculous price for the lift, so he's not able to take it. He's very quiet. Afghanistan, Tajikistan. It's not surprising that there's a tank here. Hello! 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 Yeah! I'll show you the bosses. Hello! Hey, hello! I just had to leave them because they're just so ugly in the morning.
Not Julie though, she's beautiful. Right, goodbye. Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure.
That's the first time I've travelled with somebody in 6 months, properly on the road. I like travelling on my own, but when you get a couple like that are really laid back, funny, and you feel you can bounce off each other every minute of the day, the experience is mind-blowing. So thank you, Adam and Julie. That was a big highlight of my trip so far. But Adam, I do not miss your farts, mate. Oh, I think the 3 other cyclists, Julie, Adam and Jean. Big climb, an absolutely awful road. Luckily the scenery's awesome, because this road is just, in fact it's not even a road, is it? It's no road. You don't know what you're missing. Crawling up this hill for 5 hours at 1 mile an hour. Sweating like mad, hardly no water left. Why are you in there? Why? Come on, tell me why. Don't you want to be out here with me?
Okay.
Right. Adventureman, there he goes. Oh. I got told at the summit I would have road. Feel how smooth that is. Zab Sellers invited me into his house with his awesome family, and he's brought me a new shirt. Yeah. How do I look? Okay. Awesome family. Thanks again. Bye-bye. Well, it's 5:30 AM and they all still come out and see you to the door. I mean, it's just like, it's a different league out here, the hospitality. I've got to try and do a lot of miles today. Does it look like I've been through war? Because I have. It's been the toughest 6 weeks of my life. I felt lonely. I've tackled some of the highest mountainous countries in the world. And my life has been in serious danger. But I have one purpose that drives me every minute, every hour, and every day, and that's for the Pied Piper appeal. They change thousands of children's lives, and they can only continue to do so without help. You can also support my trip and increase the chance of donations by watching the next tutorial video. Thank you so much.
Sign in to Facebook. Type into the Facebook search engine cycling Bangkok to Gloucester. And there's the charity page. And if you haven't done so already, please like the page. I'm going to scroll down the page and go to the last status update. And it's of a video. Now if you watched this video and you enjoyed it, please like it. I also love to hear your comments. So comment away. Now this next step is absolutely key to help raise awareness and donations for the Pied Piper appeal, just by clicking share. Now you can send this link straight to your friend's timeline, or on your own timeline, acts exactly the same as your status. Also put a cheeky little message in there to get them to watch it. All I know is your support means the absolute world to me.